Hopefully it's all working. All right, so I should be streaming right now. And if you want to see this, you can go to my website, which is mrstapleton.com. Click on my YouTube channel. Oh, did I choose public? Yeah, so here it is. It's live right now. So you can see it's a little bit behind. And there I am talking, and now I'm streaming myself streaming, which is going to be really weird. You can go to my website, which is yeah. So I'm going to stop watching myself stream. I think I am still streaming because the little thing is live down there. All right, let's get to the answers. What is positive upward? I'm just going to, I don't know if I'm going to call on people. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just tell you. So check your answers. And if you have any of these that are wrong or you don't understand what I'm talking about, jump in and ask a question. I don't care if you raise your hand. I kind of like it when you just blurt out stuff, as long as everybody's not blurting out at one time. Hands take forever, and I can't see them when I'm doing stuff. So positive upward slope, tell you about an object's motion. It means it's moving away from the sensor. And there are a lot of different kinds of upward slopes. You can have straight ones, curved ones, steep ones, not steep ones. A negative slope means it's moving toward the sensor. And you know what? I'm going to add something on. This is jumping ahead a little bit, but we're going to be calling this positive velocity. And we're going to be calling this negative velocity. So you've probably all done slopes in math, and a positive slope on one of these graphs means positive velocity. A negative slope means negative velocity. So steepness. If you see a graph like this and you've got one line that's not very steep and another one that's really steep, what's the difference? Here's a super steep one. Like, what does this have the most of these three? Now, yeah, but I'm going to use the word speed because we're going to get into this today. Velocity has direction. Speed doesn't really have direction. So this, if I do this, make a real steep slope going up, that's a really fast speed. A real steep slope going down, that's a really fast speed. But we're going to be calling this a big positive velocity, and this is a big negative. So this might be like 60 miles per hour, whereas this is negative 60 miles per hour. They're both fast. They're just going in different directions. All right, so steepness is speed. And steeper equals faster. So it doesn't matter if it's steep up or if it's steep down. Just steep is fast. A straight line, so sometimes these are curved, like this, and sometimes they're straight. What do we know is different about the straight ones from the curved ones? Bean. You're on the right track, Gianni?
It's constant. Straight lines are constant.
Yeah, so the key is this is changing steepness. The steepness is getting steeper here and less steep and then more steep, so the speed is changing. And on this, the speed's always the same. So a straight line indicates a constant speed. Constant, and constant means unchanging. We'll use the word constant mostly in physics. Speed. Smoothly curving line, so, oops, if it's not a straight line, it's a curving line, and if it's a straight line, it's a constant speed, so if it's a curving line, it's not a constant speed. And the word for changing speed is, if you're in your car and you're speeding up, what's accelerating, or sometimes we say decelerating. So smoothly curving line means changing speed, or you could write accelerating. All right, this is where it gets kind of hard. Trying to imagine what I mean by this. Sketch a negative slope that's becoming less steep. So in math, I'm going to draw two slopes. There's this one, slope A, and this one, slope B. Which one's negative, A or B? So negative goes down to the right. So I want to do a negative slope, one like this, but I want it to be less steep. So I can start out with any steepness I want, but it just needs to flatten out. So it's going to be like this. This would be a good answer. That's just me drawing stuff to explain. What's that, Chloe? You're good? You got it? All right. So what does this curve indicate about the motion of an object? Well, it tells us two things. It tells us direction and what's happening to speed. So is this going toward the sensor or away from the sensor? Toward the sensor, and is it speeding up or slowing down? Slowing down. So it's going toward, I'm not going to write in nice complete sentences, toward the sensor, and it's slowing down. Oh, it looks like stowing down. Okay, and now a negative slope that's getting steeper. So I need to start out drawing a slope like this again, but instead of it leveling out, it needs to get even steeper. So I'll start negative, and I'll make it steeper and steeper. So this is going to be just one of these two bullets I'm going to write again. Which one am I going to write again? Toward the sensor or slowing down? Toward the sensor, because it's got a negative slope, but it's not slowing down. What's it doing? Speeding up. Toward sensor, speeding up. And okay, so those are both negative slopes. Now I've got to draw a couple of positive slopes. So they're going to be going uphill like this, uphill to the right. This one, I'm going to start it uphill, but then I want it to become less steep, so it needs to go like this. All right, so in the same process that I used before, toward the sensor or away from the sensor? This is getting farther from the sensor. So on these graphs, this distance right here, this tells us how far it is from the sensor, and that's getting farther and farther and farther. So it's going away from the sensor. And is it getting faster or slower? Slower, so it's slowing down. And the very last one, a positive slope getting steeper, I can start out like I did before, but now I need to do this. So, and what two things am I going to write? Faster and away. So away from the sensor, speeding up. All right.